Hello and welcome to I think this is the fourth webinar for Heal with Compassion. And today we're going to be talking about self-love. It's the month of February and it's about love. So this was a very good topic to pick. In this webinar, I really would like to have you guys actually participate with what we're talking about. Hi, Dave. And I really want us to kind of create a community to provide something for whoever is going to be watching this webinar, to let them know that self-love is important and what it can actually bring into our lives, because that's really important as well. So I just wanted to kind of get an idea of if you'd like to share in the chat, how do you feel about self-love? What do you hear when you hear the phrase self-love, which we're going to cover later on in the PowerPoint? So if you'd like to share that, that would be really great. For me, self-love is really shedding all the unwanted, all the stuff in my body that don't belong, and the stories that I've grown up with, and things that really don't make me happy, and really focus on what's important to my soul, what's important to what gets me going, and what is it that I can share with other people and create love and connection with other people. And I believe that self-love is important in that area, because I'm sure you've heard of this story or the saying that you cannot share from your cup unless it's overfilling. So with self-love, we're going to overfill our cup so we can share it with others. Self-love is acceptance rather than judgment. Beautiful. That's so true and so important. Thank you. Self-love is important for the soul to be open and be able to give to others and receive it back. Wonderful. Thank you, guys. Thanks for sharing. I'm really excited and inspired. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen, and we're just going to go a little bit more into it. And as I'm speaking, as the PowerPoint is going, if you feel that you'd like to share anything, if you feel that you want to ask any questions, please go ahead and do that, because whatever we are communicating here is actually giving away as love to others who will be watching this PowerPoint and this video. So I truly love you and appreciate you, and you're so important to me, and thank you for being here. Okay, so I am going to share my screen. And we're going to start the presentation. Okay, I think I need to go back one. Let me see. All right, so we're just going to start from here, from the agenda. I'm going to put myself over here so you can see more of the PowerPoint. And again, if you come up with anything, just go ahead and put it in the chat, and I will go back to that, because I can't see the chat from where I am. I'm still learning this Zoom program. So the agenda, we went through the welcome, and we're going to go over a little bit about who's talking here. I know that you guys were on the call. know already who I am. And this is just for the benefit of people who are joining us later, or maybe are going to be seeing the webinar. And then we're going to do a centering meditation to come to the present moment. And also we're going to talk about self-love. That's why we're here today, and why feeling good is important. So first thing, my name is Zoya Bokor Mills. I love to teach, coach, and make a difference in people's lives. I like to paint, and I like to sing and dance. Those things really perk me up. I'm certified Heartbreak to Happiness coach, and since 2012, and level 3 practitioner, Reiki practitioner since 2013. Actually, level 3 is much more recent. I started my certification back in 2013, and I was very honored to have my story printed in a book called Get Your Woman On, along with 38 other amazing women. It was my honor to be in that. And the reason that I'm sharing this is that my life has been amazing. My life has been full of miracles, full of abundance, and full of things that came to me that I didn't even think that would be possible. I traveled to Europe and other places outside of the country, inside of the country, and I've been with people who have shared their heart with me, and I never thought that was possible. I'm married to a wonderful man who is my soulmate, and every day is a fresh day with us. We've been married actually, and in March is going to be our 10th wedding anniversary. So I'm looking forward to celebrating that with him. And so life wasn't always this way. I did go through a lot of losses in my life. My first husband passed away in 2002 of colon cancer, and my only son passed away in 2004 due to depression. And I also, unfortunately, lost my life savings in a Ponzi scheme in about 2010. And so I look at all these experiences as tools that got me to where I am, where I can actually talk about self-love, where in the past I didn't even know what that was. In the past, my life was about just surviving. And now I can see how much I've grown and how much I can then help people to grow and to get to where they want to be, because it's definitely possible. And that comes when you come through and live through your heart. So right now I do Reiki, and I also help parents who have lost a child through grief, and any grief can be heartbreaking and can actually keep us stuck for a long time. But it doesn't have to be that way. There are tools that we can use to release the grief and be who we are and become the person who we're supposed to be. Maybe the person who we were born to be. So, okay, well, thank you for listening, and we'll go ahead and go to the next screen, and so now we're going to do our meditation. I'd like to invite you to take a few deep breaths all the way to your stomach and release really slowly. And with each breath, just check the body and see if there are any blocks or any discomfort you can breathe into and then release, so you can be here in the present moment with us. So after taking a few deep breaths, I'd like to invite you to breathe at your own pace. And I will do a short meditation by Thich Nhat Hanh, a Buddhist monk. Beautiful, beautiful human being. I haven't met him, but I've seen him in interviews with Oprah, and he is pretty amazing and remarkable person. So breathing in, I calm my body, and breathing out, I smile. Dwelling in this present moment, I know it is a wonderful moment. And breathing in, I calm my body, and breathing out, I smile. Dwelling in this present moment, it's a wonderful moment. And I know that it is a wonderful moment. One last time, breathing in, I calm my body, and breathing out, I smile. Dwelling this present moment, I know it is a wonderful moment. So let's just go ahead and take a moment and just be with ourselves. And it's important because now we're going to go into loving and accepting who we are and how to do that. Sometimes that could be a challenge. And what do we do when that challenge comes up? I found this quote and I really loved it. So you will see a few quotes on here. And at the end, I'll give you the link to the website that I found these quotes on. Beauty begins the moment you decide to be yourself, by Coco Chanel. And there's so much that can be said in that. When you decide to be yourself. So let's talk about love and self-love. So in the beginning, I asked, how do you react to the phrase self-love? And I got amazing and really beautiful responses. So I just want you to just be present to this question. How do you react to the phrase self-love? For a long time, as I said, I didn't know anything about self-love. And then when I heard about it, I figured, well, it's probably for someone else, not for me. Because I believed that self-love was something that I wasn't allowed to have because it was a selfish thing. And if you believe in that, just want you to re-examine that. Is self-love really selfish? Are you not really allowed to be who you are and loving that person? Just a few seconds for you to just take a look at that. And if you have something to write on, maybe make some notes for yourself. Now the next question is, where would you like to be with self-love? Would you like to be, I'm getting a reminder about this call. Close that. Would you like to be free of all the constraints? Would you like to enjoy who you are? Like this picture, I love this picture because it shows that she's really enjoying who she is and just hugging herself. Is that what would you like to be? Really, we want to create, how far do we want to go with this? And for those of you guys who are attending, please share whatever comes up for you if you like. And we'll go back and check that. And the next question came up because I've dealt with this a lot. What keeps you from creating self-love? One of the things that I shared was I felt like it was selfish to have self-love. And other times it came up for me that maybe I don't deserve it. Or maybe it's not for me. So I had to let go of all of those old thoughts and things that I've grown up with, and then become someone who can love herself. And really loving self doesn't mean that there is ego and it's everything becomes about me. It really means that we can create the love within us and share that with other people. Share it with who are here to receive. Share it with the world. Make a difference. And make ourselves free to be who we are. Make ourselves excited about who we are. Like wake up and the first thing we think is, I am me who's waking up with me, because we take us wherever we go, we take us. And so why not love the person who's always with us and accept us for who we are and who we are not. And so the next question is, if you have any questions, I would like to hear that. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen. Oh, thank you, Allison. Self-love is important for the soul, and then I want to be able to receive self-love organically all the time. I really get that, Allison, and I share that with you, because receiving self-love organically is really, in my opinion, is being the highest person and connecting with our highest self all the time, and knowing that who we are is enough, and clearing a lot of freedom in every part of our lives. So thank you for sharing. So let's go to my share screen, and I have to open this again. Okay. Slideshow. Current slide. Okay. So next thing that we're going to talk about is why it's important for us to love about who we are and care about who we are. This is another quote. Something inside you emerges, an innate indwelling peace, stillness, aliveness. It is what you had been looking for in the love object. It is yourself, Eckhart Tolle. I really love his messages. And to be honest with you, sometimes I have to read it a few times to understand. And so what I'm getting from this is that the person who we are inside and the love that we're always looking for outside of us is us. And that's something really deep to get and even to be with. Because in our environment, in today's world, everything is about the outside. Everything is about what we can accomplish, how we look out there, and what is it that we can get from the outside to be happy. But nothing that we can get from the outside can make us as happy as centering in ourselves and being who we are. So why is it important to love who we are? Well, first of all, when we are open and we are accepting of who we are, we're loving who we are, the stress in the body is a lot less. And so we create a healthier body. I always see that people who are going through grief or heartbreak, and I myself, I was included in that. I always felt that I did not deserve any love because of my losses. I always felt that if I let go of my grief and start taking care of me, that means I'm letting go of the person who has passed on. And it was important because I was talking to a wonderful young woman yesterday, and she'd lost her husband, and that's what she said. She said that she felt that letting go of her grief actually meant that she was letting go of her husband, and that if she lets go of her grief, that she was going to forget him. And I know for myself, I went through all that, and I know most of the people, when we lose a loved one, we go there. And I want to invite you to just take a look and see, being in that grief, it really stops us from connecting. Because the people who have gone and they're not on this planet in person, they are here spiritually, and we can always connect with them. But if we are grieving, if we are closing all the doors, we're creating a wall around us, then that connection cannot happen. And to be honest with you, I've done that. I've created the wall. I have done all the blaming and stuff that everybody does, and realized that that doesn't work. That to be with Roy, with my son, I need to be open. And so self-love and creating and caring for who we are is important, to connect with those around us and with people who have left us, unfortunately. Being open to new possibilities. When I am not in self-love, when I'm not taking care of me and getting my needs met, I'm not open to anything else because I'm always worried about what's going to happen, that I want to control. Because when I don't take care of who I am, and I don't connect with who I am and create love within myself, then I feel that the whole world has control and not me. But then again, control is not what we're looking for. Sharing love is what we're looking for. Again, we are focused. When we take care of ourselves and love who we are, we're focused to what's important to us. And that, again, is not about being the ego and wanting things because we want them. It's really taking action that brings the things that we love back to us. Taking action to do things that open our hearts. And also it creates more energy. When we are connected with our higher self, we're more energetic. I don't know if you've ever experienced that, but I have, and it's a beautiful way of being. Just the energy just flows. It definitely affects our finances. When we create a wall around us, everything in our lives could stop. And that's including finances, because we're stopping the abundance and flow that is coming to our way. We're stopping that with creating the walls around us. When we are in self-love, we can actually create better decisions. And like Allison said in the beginning, accepting life and others and ourselves. And I just want to say, and this is something that my coach recently said to us. I'm in a group at Getting Coaching, Alan Lotman. He said, live through your life, live through your heart. Because when you do that, then life flows. And when we are creating self-love, we are living with freedom and more joy. And who doesn't want that, right? So the next thing that we want to talk about, how can we actually create self-love? So I'm going to go over a few things that came up for me, and I did a little bit of research around them. And then if you have something else that you like to share, we can actually share that with everyone as well. This is a quote from Buddha. You yourself, as much as anybody in the entire universe, deserves your love and affection. So beautiful. It's by Buddha. So the first thing that actually my friend Pamela suggested, and this really resonated with me, was write down what you appreciate about yourself. Write down what you appreciate about yourself. So if I'd like to just take a moment and write down what you appreciate about yourself and see how that feels. And I'm going to do the same. Okay, so thank you for doing that. I just wrote, who I am is someone who wants to make a difference. I love people from the bottom of my heart, and also love growing and learning. So if you would, let me just stop sharing. So anything that you guys would like to share, if you can put it in the chat. Okay, wonderful. Okay, so let's go back to going to from current. Oops, we went up. Okay, so how can we create? So one would be writing what you appreciate about who you are. And another thing is getting your needs met. And what does that mean? The first time I heard this was when I was going through the Grief Coach Academy. And one of the things that Aurora, who's the founder of Grief Coach Academy, Aurora Winter, she said, to get your needs met. And it was like kind of hard for me to understand. And what I learned from that is that I always used to put everything that was important to me last. And when I realized that, I said, well, I like to go to museums, for example. So she wanted us to do that, to take action on what was important to us and what we needed. So your needs could be maybe just taking an hour a day just to be with yourself, or maybe just maybe going and shopping and buying little things that make you happy. And you just take a look and see what your needs are that you can meet. And then they're usually not something that are very expensive or something that you need to go far for. A lot of times I go to little shops around my place and just buy stuff that just inspire me, and pretty stuff because I like that. So just getting your needs met is one way. Reading positive affirmations like 4 times a day. So I create affirmations, and a lot of times just read it in the morning and just let it go. And so if I put it in my calendar to read it 4 times a day, I see the difference. And you can search the internet. Hay House has beautiful affirmations, or just create one for yourself. Another way of getting your needs met is the artist state. I know that sounds a little bit kind of out of the ordinary, but that actually came from a book called The Artist Way. And in this book, they invite you to take a day once a week, maybe, and do something that you enjoy doing, just to give your heart and your soul what it's asking for. For example, for me, I try to go to the museums, as I said, because I enjoy looking at paintings. And or just maybe going to see a movie once in a while, or even walking. I always find a space that I enjoy walking, and I make it a thing to go there and take walks and just get some fresh air. Just be with myself and be present to everything around me. So maybe you want to do the same thing. Maybe if it's not possible once a week, maybe we can do that maybe once a month. And being very clear on what your needs are, because that's also very important. Every day, do something that nourishes you. It could be anything from maybe getting up and dancing in the morning, which I have tried and I love, or just seeing a show in the middle of the day if your time allows, or maybe eating healthy and drinking a lot of water. So you just want to see what's there for you that you can do that could nourish you physically and emotionally. I said emotionally, that brought meditation. Maybe do a meditation twice a day. It doesn't really take that long. You can do a meditation for 5 minutes in the morning and the afternoon. Or just once in a while, make sure that you are present in this moment. Right now we are together and we are present for each other. And that nourishes us. Write your morning pages. That also came from the artist state, the artist way, sorry. And that doing your morning pages is, in the morning, they tell you to write 3 pages nonstop. Like you write and you just put down everything that comes through your mind. That's a way of releasing thoughts that might not be good for our highest good, and thoughts that may stop us from being who we are and loving who we are. And that also creates a lot of clarity for the day. And one of the most important items that I want to talk about, which is about self-love, is allowing your emotions to come up and release them. And that's my practice every day. And how does that work if we want to keep allowing our emotions to come up and release them? How would that work? And why is that important? Because if we are walking around with emotions stuck in our bodies, we create pain that our bodies kind of cannot handle all the time. So if we notice the emotions and any way that works for us, by writing, by crying, by maybe even screaming into pillows when you have a chance, that would create a much better space for you to be with yourself and be with others, creating that openness. Some of the items on this list I received from the website for Psychology Today, and there is the long link, which I can share with you when I send a copy of this to you, and you can follow that. And the other one is Habits for Well-Being. The quotes that I received was from that link. So if you'd like to take a look at it, as I said, they will be in the copy of the recording that I'm sending to you. So at the end, I just wanted to say, if you're going through any type of grief or heartbreak, please take action, because time does not, unfortunately, heal certain pains that we carry in our bodies. And I would love to be a part of healing that you would like to go through. So if you feel that this is time to receive the help that you need, please give me a call. You can reach me at 866-908-4325 or email me at zoya@healingwithcompassion.com. I do one-on-one coaching and I do have upcoming workshops and group classes, and we'll see which one works best for you. Okay, well, thank you for being with me in through this